the game, there wasn't really much stoppage in play, and it was, he hit 5 or 6 in a row. I was talking to Fox a little bit on the bench. Him and Fox, it's funny. They have like a little sibling rivalry, I think, from their relationship this summer. So I honestly thought Fox had gotten 50 before. So I looked up and I was like, "Are you gonna be pissed when Keegan gets 50?" He's like, "Actually, like I think my career high is 44." And so happy for him. I don't think Keegan has a lot of bragging rights much from this summer for any of their matchups, but he's got this on him now. So we'll see how long it takes Fox to get 48. But 47 for Keegan, I think that was really what we were talking about in the huddle. And from there, we were trying to tell him to smile. Like Keegan was business as usual. He got in the huddle like, "Man, have a good time. Like, this is special what you're doing."
Kevin, I know Keegan had just about 50% of those threes that were shot tonight, but you guys, including tonight, been shooting really, really well at home these last 3 home games. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, this is their personnel, Utah, I think, with how big they are, them trying out that zone. They've been playing zone a lot this year. The way we're capable of moving the ball and the shooters we have, this should be a game where we get up a lot of threes and we could find open shots. And I feel like we did that. I think Domas was really aggressive in making sure we were getting the ball to him in the center of the court so we could find guys. Not being aggressive necessarily to score, but being aggressive to make plays. And it feels like we're getting good looks all game. And a lot of that came from it's hard to play zone in the NBA with the 3-second rules. And as long as you move the ball and you're unselfish, like, you're going to find open shots. And I feel like we really did that. They went man for a little bit in that third quarter. But that's just a part of what they do, trying to junk up the game and part of their defense because of who they have. But I think our personnel, again, like I said, a team goes zone against you that much, you should be able to figure it out and get open shots in this league.
Kevin, you worked your way through a shooting slump earlier this season. Your teammates celebrated you getting through it with you. Keegan's had a lot of good looks this year that just haven't been dropping. For him to have a breakthrough night like tonight, how enjoyable not just is that for him, but for you and his teammates to see him get going?
Yeah, it's it's going to come back. Like, that's the thing about this league, and you just got to trust it. Play 82 games. Like, I think right now we're in like an 8 games in 13-day stretch, and so you're always going to have the next game. I just think, always as a player, you got to keep your head right. And it's, making sure, the work is how you do that, getting in the gym, making sure everything feels good, and then trusting it's, going to carry over in a game. And Keegan, since he's gotten here, has always been a player that works. He's someone that lives in the gym. Even this summer, really going 6 out of 7 days, very regimented. He not really taking days off, was someone who stuck to a routine. And so, he's put in the work, he's put in the time, it's going to come back. And that's true for a lot of guys. So you're going to go through ups and downs. You're going to go through waves in the season. It's as long as you stay confident, you trust your teammates, it's going to come back.
Kevin, playing on a team like this, how difficult is it to go through games where, like tonight, you get 6 shots, and we've seen Harrison have nights where he gets 3 shots, but you got to stay ready, and you also have to be a good teammate when a guy is having a night like this? Yeah,
it's part of those things. You control, you can control, and that's that's what you can do and the opportunity you're given. Maybe 6 shots, in 24 minutes, maybe I can be a little bit more aggressive. I think similar to Domas, just trying to find open shots and what they were doing in that zone, and Keegan had it going, trying to find him. But really, for the most part, it's trying to be unselfish, controlling what you can, being out there playing the game the right way. I think I'm always the player that tries to play the game the right way and not ever hunting shots unless you're having a night like Keegan. We have so many good offensive weapons. It can be anyone's night, and throughout the course of the season, again, you're going to go through ups and downs and continue to trust it'll come back to you.
I know he got tossed tonight. I'm not asking about that. Just your perspective on Keon and what he was able to do, especially distributing as the starting point guard tonight.
Yeah, Keon Keon affects the ways in games you don't always see in the box score. And I think that's very cliche to say, but I feel like Keegan, he's always in passing lanes. As he's a really underrated defender. He's a ball hawk. It kind of always just feels like he's junking up the game, and he's a player that feels like he's everywhere when you're playing with him. And offensively, you saw a game like last game when he's able to hit a bunch of threes. That's where it explodes and everyone notices him. But in a game like today, 26 minutes, I thought defensively he was great again. He's always just going to do the little things over the course of a game that you don't always feel, you don't see unless you're really on the court. And our coaches obviously see it too. So Keon, again, I thought he had a good game. Took 3 shots, 2 points, and I know he gets tossed from the game, but it is what it is. He'll be back.
Kev, we saw Fox and Monk kind of pushing Keegan to the end of the bench there when he came out to sit down. What was the mood in the locker room like? Was there any kind of a little moment celebration for him after the game?
Yeah, there was. We threw a little bit of water on him. I think most of that just to piss him off a little bit. You know, Keegan doesn't love that type of stuff, being the center of attention all the time. But he deserves it. You know, he had a special night. Him and Fox really do. They have a funny relationship. I think he has a funny relationship with Delmas. So I'm not sure what happened there. So pushing the on the bench, it's kind of, again, like a little brother move. But Keegan, he was happy. Everyone's happy for him, trying to get him to smile more, be through it all. He'll come up here and hopefully talk about it. But we're all just very excited for him, making sure that he's enjoying it too.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
So about that fourth quarter where you missed a couple of shots, just what was going on there? I'm just messing with
I don't know. It's probably the two most open looks I had all game. So,
you. What was going on in the third where you just caught fire and just everything was going in?
I mean, it kind of reminded me of like last year and in college, and I would get hot and you kind of just black out for a little bit, and it just feels like everything you put up is going to go in. So that's kind of what happened in the third quarter.
Keegan, Kevin, he gave us you and Fox back and forth on the bench. What was De'Aaron Fox telling you?
I mean, we're always competitive, me and him, and I just told him I beat his career high. So, but he told me he has more 40-point games. So it's just a back and forth and stuff like that. So, it's just competitive.
I think when you checked out at the very end, it looked like De'Aaron told you to move down a seat, and then Malik did the same. Does that feel justified on a night where you broke both their career highs?
I mean, I'm still a young guy on this team, so I mean they have more experience and done more in this league than I have for sure.
All right, Keegan, you had 47 points and an opportunity to get 50 on another one of your enormous threes. Were you upset that he took you out at that point?
No, I was perfectly content with where I was at. I mean, you told me I get 47 points a couple hours for the game. I'd be completely happy with that, and we won the game. So I was just happy with our team effort and my performance too.
Keegan, Utah went to that zone in the second quarter. Did you feel like once you saw that the threes could open up by then?
Yeah, I mean, when we get paint touches, move the ball, I feel like we got really good looks in that zone. That zone gave us trouble last year when we played at third place. So we took it to heart to dribble, penetrate, move the ball, find the open guy.
What's up, Keegan? When Coach took you out in the fourth, the fans, they weren't having it. They were chanting your name. Did you hear it, and just what was that like?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really cool feeling just to have the city have your back, and especially tonight. So I'm just grateful for the fans and just them encouraging me through my ups, through my downs, and it was just a special night for the entire city.
Keegan, some quick questions. One, what did you eat for breakfast today?
Eggs, bacon, and fruit.
Is that gonna be breakfast Monday?
That's what I eat every single day. Yeah.
And the other one is you almost had 50. You almost had the NBA record for three-pointers made in a game. Which one did you want more?
What was it? Record, free throw, or the franchise, or I mean, I don't know. I didn't really know about it until one of our assistants told me, and at that point, I mean, I got my career high, so I feel like that was good enough for me. I mean, I still have an NBA record right now, but we'll see how long that lasts.
When you're in the moment like that, you're obviously, we always tease you about how stoic you can remain, but obviously there's amusing moments where your teammates look to kind of bring that out of you. But when you're on a heater like that, is it kind of like baseball where you don't want to be messed with, or like how do you feel in those moments?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like in the game. I'm just locked in, and in that moment, guys just kept encouraging me. It was nothing different if I was missing shots or I wasn't having a good game. They're still doing the same thing. So they weren't treating me any different, and they just said if you're open, let it fly. If you have a look, let it fly, and that's what I did.
For someone who is shooting as well as you were, it doesn't seem like you should be getting as many open looks as you were tonight. Even with De'Aaron out, how big of a benefit is playing with Domas, Malik, those guys out there that create so much space that allow you to have games like that?
Yeah, I mean, you even saw when I was going, they were still drawing a lot of attention, and that just shows the kind of impact that they've had on this league and how they're playing tonight, how they played this whole year. So just having guys on the court like that, be able to space the floor, Domas doing what he does every single night, just makes life easy.
As a team in the last 3 home games, you guys have hit 64 three-pointers collectively. Of course, the team record going back to Monday night with the 25. What's going on team-wise in terms of the outside shooting?
Yeah, just confidence at home. Last year, we know we struggled at home, and this year we kind of just want to flip that narrative a little bit. When we get it going, I feel like we're a really good team, and that's something that has to translate in road games for sure, and something that we need to work on.
Keegan, congratulations, great game. What are you going to remember most about this night, whether it was something that happened, something someone said, the fans, whatever it was? What are you going to take away the most?
Yeah, I think it's just my team, just the guys that I talk to every single day. When I subbed out the game, just the encouragement that they had for me, the gratitude that everyone showed, whether they played or not. That was the biggest thing for me, just hearing them. When I was running up and down the court, just kind of the family that we got with our team.
Is this type of moment surprising to you? I mean, does it impress you at all? I mean, based on anything you've experienced in your life, you mentioned like getting on a heater in college or even before, but like to do this at the NBA level, does this even impress yourself?
I mean, yeah. I mean, from how I've been playing offensively this year, I feel like this game was just kind of a lot of emotions built into one. It's just encouraging for me moving forward this season with how good I can be offensively in this league.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
I do hear sound.
That's my dad. Yep, Bobby Brown. That's my dad. First game here in Sacramento. In person, yep. So Dad, welcome. Glad you can come. Obviously, I'm going to talk about Keegan in a second, but our guys played a good game, and they played a good game offensively as a team. One of the things we talked about in the first half was they had 12 second chance points in a half, and our guys went out in the second half and held them to 3 second chance points. So that was a significant improvement on the defense end of the floor. But going to the offensive side of the floor, obviously we had a lot of guys have good games for us. Just as a team, we always talk about wanting to play fast as our identity.
on top of wanting to play fast, we want to be physical defensively. And then the last thing is playing together in the right way. And, that was evident tonight on a night that Fox was out, and we had 36 assists on 46 field goals. That right there is playing together and playing the right way. And, this group is connected. I've said it before. And, we need to go through adversity to test how connected we are throughout the course of the year. I'm okay with that. But for us to have games like this, it shows how strong our bond is with one another, and that can carry us through tough times in the playoffs. And so I know I'll continue seeing that throughout the course of the year and beyond. Now getting to Keegan, what a performance. He set all types of franchise records tonight. The first one, threes made, he had 12. I think Buddy Hield had 11, so he broke that franchise record in a game. Points in a quarter, Mitch Richmond had 25 points back in the day, and this is the crazy part. I obviously didn't coach Mitch Richmond here, but I coached Mitch Richmond in Washington, and then Keegan obviously now. But, Mitch had 25 points in a quarter. Keegan had 26 in the third quarter tonight. And then threes in a quarter. The previous record was 6. Keegan had 7 in the third quarter. 16 for 23 from the floor for 47 points. 23 field goals, and you score 47 points. On top of that, you take 4 free throws. That is insane. But hell of a job by Keegan Murray and his teammates for trying to find him tonight.
All right, Mike, of course, you've seen a lot of this down south in the Bay Area, but do you feel somewhat like a Grinch that you took Keegan out before he hit 50?
No, because, you're up 25 points, and if Keegan's on the floor and he gets hurt, half of the people that were yelling at me would be calling me names and calling me led by idiot. And then who else knows what would come after that. So, he had an opportunity to get 50. I kept him in probably a little longer than what I should. I ran him the whole third quarter and part of the fourth quarter. And then he went back in after they cut it to 20. So the opportunity was there, but the smart thing to do was to take him out.
Mike, you talked about the connectivity of this team. It looked like everyone understood that he was the guy tonight, and they fed him. How much is that part of the soul of what your team is right now, that you guys are unselfish and you're willing to allow someone to have a big night like this and keep feeding him?
It's huge. I tell you, Jay, it's big because, in a game like this, we're shooting 54%. The ball's moving a little bit. You could think, okay, I'm going to go get mine. I'm going to go get mine. I'm going to go get mine. But that ball, the way it moved with the bodies tonight at certain points of the game, it was beautiful. It was fun to watch, and I'm sure as a player it was fun to be a part of because there were possessions where different guys were touching it. But then, especially when Keegan was rolling, different guys were touching it, but it would find him. And I always believe in the basketball gods, and I believe in the synergy that the basketball has. If you play the right way, the ball will find you. And I thought Keegan was playing the right way. There was nothing that he really forced. Our guys didn't really force anything to him. They just hit him when he was open. They tried to set good screens for him when they could, and he knocked down shots.
Can we ask your dad questions about you?
Yes, you can.
I'm just kidding. Kind of building off of James' question, to take it a step further, for Keegan having the night that he was having, it didn't seem like he should have been getting as many open looks as he was getting, especially after that big third quarter, and it seemed like it was because of how the rest of the team was playing. Can you speak a little bit more to what Domas and Malik and the other guys are doing correctly to make sure Keegan is still getting those looks?
The first thing is Keegan got some looks in transition, and, we preach, get to the corner, get to the corner, get to the corner. And there were a couple of times where he just put his head down and he got to the corner. And, Utah, they do a great job of mixing up their defense from man to zone to box and one to a matchup zone. And and a way to beat that or to get an open look is to get down the floor quickly, throw the ball ahead, and shoot it. And Keegan was able to do that. Now, even moving forward from there, our pace was pretty good. Our pace and our spacing, everything that we preach, from pace to spacing to paint touch, whether it's a roll or a cut or a dribble drive, playing in the 0.5, which is getting off the ball quickly, all that stuff came to play on every single possession. And when you have guys like Domas that are a willing passer, when you have a guy like Malik that's a willing passer, it didn't matter who it was. Even Keon Ellis. Keon, as a young kid, he's a young man, he had 7 assists, So, again, it's a testament to all of our guys out there just trying to play the right way for each other, which is a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, Coach, it feels like since Keegan got drafted, there's been some moments where he's maybe a little hesitant. What does it mean that he was willing to get up 23 shots tonight? And do you feel like this is a peek into how good he can be offensively? Obviously, tonight's not exactly replicable, but.
Yeah, I mean, Keegan, he's, as you guys have seen in the short amount of time, last year he was strictly a three-point shooter. This year, even in transition, he's starting to bring the ball a little bit. He's scoring from the second and third levels now. He's playing a little bit of zoom action and or pick and roll action. And so just like last year, he got comfortable shooting a three. He's showing that he's worked hard in other parts of his game, and the experience that he's gaining while we're winning, while developing those aspects of his game, are only going to pay off in the future tenfold. 2, 3, 4 years from now, whoa. I mean, you're going to really see something out of this young man. And he's just barely scratching the surface because he's being asked to do a lot of stuff that he's never been asked to do at the highest level. And with his work ethic, his determination, his skill set and all that other stuff, he's got a chance to be a high level player in a lot of different areas. And everybody's just seeing a little bit of it now. So there's a ton of room to grow, for sure.
Mike, I imagine as a coach, it's got to be pretty gratifying to watch a young guy grow and develop. Like when you look at Keegan, the strides he's made, the kind of the fun relationships he's got with certain guys, and just, I don't know, where do your thoughts go in terms of how rewarding and cool that is to watch him do this?
Nah, it's unbelievable. It's cool. It's really cool, especially when you have just a quality young man too, and everybody on our team is of that level. But to be able to see his growth and him have a night like tonight and him set the 3-point rookie record last year, all that stuff is just it's a ton of fun. And his personality is what makes it even that much more special. I tell you guys, it was yesterday we were in practice. They were about to start practice, and we had just got done watching film, and we were about to stretch, and I see Malik and Keegan kind of, having a conversation, and Malik's kind of laughing at him as Keegan's walking away. So I'm like, "Yo, Malik, what's up?" He said, Mike, Keegan said he could post up." I said, "What?" I said, "Keegan could post up?" And, Keegan had that little smile on his face, and he's walking away. And I said, Keegan, wait. You say you could post up? He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Really?" This was the best answer. I said, "Really?" I said, "I don't think I've ever seen it." He said, "Go watch YouTube." And he walked away. So I said, "Malik," he told me to go watch YouTube. He said, "Yeah, you might have some highlights on YouTube." I said, "What if I don't have YouTube?" He said, "All you got to do is Google it. You Google it, you can see Keegan in the post at Iowa. He says he could post up." So I said, "Okay, I'll see it at some point this year." So with his personality, to see him have this success, oh my gosh, it is a lot of fun. I mean, it warms my heart. and it probably does everybody else too.
Coach, it also has to be gratifying tonight to play with the pace you want, to get the 36 assisted baskets, all without De'Aaron tonight, too.
Yeah, for sure it is because, Foxy missed some games early in the season, and our pace wasn't great. Obviously, we didn't score the ball as well when he was out, and so to score 125 points and play the way we did with that ball humming, the bodies moving, the spacing, and then, of course, the pace, not just in the full court, but even the half court, I thought our pace was pretty good. Was a lot of fun to see.
Yeah, Coach Brown, just going back, to these relationships, De'Aaron and Keegan, which has, been talked about, most of the season about, they're engaging during the summer and working out and things like that. And it's really seemed like it's really been beneficial for both of them on both ends because, of course, their performance has increased. Just want to get your thoughts about having that type of relationship off season and then, it pouring into, the regular season and just blossoming.
It's huge when when you have a veteran, it's of the caliber that Fox is, take a young guy under his wing and say, hey, I'm gonna help you get better. We're gonna help each other. Come spend the summer with me. That can give a young guy a ton of confidence that working out in the gym on his own or working out with me or me saying, hey, you're the greatest. Foxy being with them, Keegan seeing Foxy work out, them playing one-on-one, two-on-two, spending time together, that speaks volumes, about Fox as him trying to develop as a leader and who he is as a person. But it can give an unbelievable amount of confidence to a guy like Keegan. And when you get to this level in the NBA, sometimes everything is pretty even in terms of talent. The guys that usually separate themselves are the ones that have that confidence. They can miss 3 in a row and still shoot the next 3 and not even worry about the play before. And, when you're hanging with a guy like Fox in the summertime, that's telling you to a certain degree that, okay, I've arrived. This guy's taking notice of me. This guy believes in me. This guy wants me to work out with him. He wants to help me get better. He's there. He feels like I can catch up to him. All those things matter a ton on this level, especially to a young guy. And I know Keegan's appreciative of it, and we are too as a staff.
Coach, you've been vocal about the belief you've had in Keegan since he first got here and the player that he could blossom into, but when was the first moment you knew he could be special?
Summer League last year, just watching him in Summer League. And the biggest thing was just seeing he didn't get rattled at all. He just kept playing and he kept trying to find ways to impact the game, obviously with the scoring, but he tried to embrace the other little things, even though he didn't really know what they were at all times. But during Summer League, you saw some stuff in those games and even in the practices that made you go, oh, whoa, we might have something here. And he's starting to show everybody else. Thank you, guys.